So I think, hopefully you can hear me. One of the beauties of yoga is that we can return to our practice time and time again. It doesn't have to be on a yoga mat. It doesn't have to be in a yoga studio. It is finding that 5 or that 10 minutes in a day where you can just tap into your breath. We breathe 10,000 times a day. We never notice one of them unless we quit. But our yoga practice is to center on breath coming in and breath going out. So if you're like me and it helps you to place your hands somewhere on your belly or your heart and just begin to feel the breath. You don't have to do anything with it. You just have to notice it. Legs can be in whatever position, but because today is a hips and hammies class, I'm going to take a supine Baddha Konasana, reclined cobra pose. With the eyes closed down and the sensory feeling of that breath filling and releasing the body. It gives us a moment to pause. It gives us a moment to scan. It also gives us a moment to settle not only the physical body, but the mental and emotional body. A moment to set things aside. A moment to pause with our breath. Just that moment to be with ourselves. Enjoy 5 full rounds of breath. And if you are in your cobra pose, use your hands and just draw the knees together. We'll roll over if you've got anything underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and set that off to the side. Bring yourself back down onto the back body and just draw the knees into the chest. And just really lightly here, squeeze them in. And again, maybe to rock side to side from hip point to hip point. And again, the emphasis today when we use straps is we want to always make sure that pelvis, those hip points are level and that we're not allowing the weight of one leg to roll us over to one side. Take the hands above the knees, take the knees out wide, nice and easy. Circle them down towards the back of your mat and then draw them into the chest. So nice big wide circles just to bring that synovial fluid, some motion lotion to the hips, to the inner thighs. Reverse that, take it the opposite way. And then plant the feet on the mat. Draw the right knee into the chest. Just give it a squeeze, maybe a rock side to side. Extend the left leg long. Maybe hover it just to engage the core a bit. Squeeze right knee in, flex both feet, hover the left leg. Deep breath in, bellies in. And then switch it out. So again, just bring in some movement into the legs. Left knee in, right knee hovers. and switch, and switch. And this time, if it helps you and you want some extra credit, maybe you lift up the head and the shoulders off of the mat to come towards that thigh, and then switch it out again. We'll just take 5 at your own pace, whatever feels good. And back, both knees into the chest. Plant them wide on your mat, so maybe at the edges, and just take a windshield. Again, working right down that opening of the quad, the IT band, the outer thigh. And then we'll just bring both feet together, reach for that strap. So as we begin to use the strap, and again, it's cool in some places, so we just don't want to just jump right into it. Please draw the right knee into the chest, nice and soft. Take the belt around the ball of the right foot. Keep that knee in first. And then very slowly, leading with the heel, slow as you can go, begin to straighten that right leg up to the ceiling. So the leg does not have to come straight. The heel should be a little bit higher than the toes, just to begin to engage the back of the legs. And slide your hands down the strap so that the back of the arms rest nice and light on your mat. So just checking in here. The belly is tucked in. Squeeze those shoulder blades in to release the top of the shoulders. A little bit of a nod at the head so that the chin comes in towards the throat. Whole upper body here, nice and relaxed. The focus is all going to be in the hips, the thighs, and the hamstrings. So taking a nice deep breath in, drawing that belly in. Just draw that thigh a little closer to the body. No force here, just let the belt guide it in. And then return the leg so that it's right over that hip point. And we'll just kind of do this little coaxing motion back and forth. Maybe this next time as that leg comes closer to the body, we pause, flare those toes, press the heel up towards the ceiling. Again, you can keep a slight bend into the knee, but just begin to feel the opening through the back of the leg, that heel raise, calves engaged, the Achilles, and maybe as that thigh comes closer, you begin to feel the hamstring and where it connects right into the glutes. And just notice your breath here and soften your upper body. Two more breaths, maybe a little bit closer. Notice if you've got a death grip here now, right? We want to relax the upper body. So right now, the left knee is bent, the toes are pointing towards the back of your mat. Let's take the strap into our right hand. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, let that right leg fall out to the right. Again, we try and lead with that heel. So the heel is like drawing, if it was a marker, it would be what's touching the paper or the wall to draw. And we just let that leg fall to where it wants to fall. I like to use a bent arm as a kickstand there to kind of control the movement. This is where you might notice as that leg falls right, you kind of roll over onto that right hip. So take the moment, use that counterbalance with the left knee going out the same angle so that you come back and you can feel the pelvis is in a very neutral position. We're going to take 3 full breaths here. Keep pressing through the heel, flare through the toes. And again, it's just weight and gravity doing the work. You're just kind of hanging out here, and your only job is to breathe fully. Good. One more press with that heel. Make it a little bit of a stronger stretch. Then we're going to draw the left knee back up towards the ceiling. Take the breath in, draw the right leg back up. Strap goes into both hands. Slide those hands down the strap. Relax the upper body. Pull in the thigh closer to the chest. Again, trying to maintain that nice flexed foot. Fuller breath, maybe a little bit of a deeper stretch. Maybe you notice now that the leg's a little more warmed up and you can pull that thigh in closer to the belly. On your next breath, take the strap into the left hand. This time we're going to take that right leg across the body to, as I was saying, maybe 10 o'clock if you're looking at the face of a clock. You'll begin to feel the outside of the right thigh. Pause wherever you just begin to feel the stretch. At the same time, notice that rolling action. See maybe if you can bring that left knee, let it fall a little more right so that you can level out the hips. Again, if you use that elbow as a kickstand, find a place, upper body relaxes, heel presses away. That does not feel nice and comfortable. So we don't push it, but just come to sensation. And notice where you feel the sensation. Shoulders are soft, the spine is completely supported, tailbone all the way up through the neck. Take 5 breaths here. Keep pressing the heel away. Keep the hips nice and level. On your next inhale, keep the leg right where it is. Take that left knee back up to the ceiling and extend that left leg long. So now we're going to get the enjoyment of rolling all the way over, bringing the right leg completely over, letting ourselves roll onto the side of the left hip, and just letting that right leg fall way out to the right. It can just float. It can sit on a block or a cushion or the floor. Again, just getting a nice twist into the low back, nice stretch through the glute, the piriformis. Press the heel away. So again, anytime you feel a little bit of sciatic pain, as long as it's not sciatic, that piriformis muscle that runs right on top of that sciatic nerve gets tight and presses on it. This is one of the very best exercises you can do, using the strap and working into lengthening gently that piriformis muscle. Take one more breath. Press the heel away. With control, bring that right leg back up to center. Hand in, strap into both hands. See if you can draw that thigh in a little bit closer. Heel is pressing away. And then we're going to bend into the right knee like a half happy baby. Reach up. You can either reach up your strap or you can reach for your foot, whatever is easier for you this morning. Drop that knee down. So just half happy baby again, just to open up the back of the glutes. Deep breath. Then bend into the left knee, plant the left foot. Take that right ankle across to that left thigh. The strap can stay right where it is. Use your right hand inside the inner right thigh. Very lightly press the thigh away from you. Notice what you notice happening in that right hip. Again, just come to the point of sensation. creating some space. Release the fingertips. Let that right knee fall in now towards the chest, over towards that left shoulder. Again, it's just a counter stretch, working right through the back of the right glute. And send that knee back one more time, just a gentle nudge to send it away from you. Pick up the leg structure just like you were coming into a figure four. Release the strap off of the right foot. No hands here, just hold the leg structure for a moment. And then replant the left foot. Let the right foot join it. Walk the feet to the edge of the mat and just take a windshield wiper. And we'll move to the other side. So feet come back to center. Left knee draws into the chest. Just give it a squeeze here. Strap goes around the left foot. And again, before we just lift that leg to the ceiling, we tuck the belly, we soften the whole upper body, and then slowly, leading with that heel, we allow the leg to straighten any amount. Again, it's a different side, so just notice how that feels. Continue to press the heel away, but you can keep the knee there. Hands slide down so that the whole upper body is relaxed. Take a moment and just draw the thigh in a little closer to the chest. And then release the leg back right over its hip joint. Just take about 3 or 4 more. Just waking up the left hip. And if you feel ready, maybe you come to stillness, drawing that thigh in a little bit closer, pressing that heel a little bit further and flaring those toes right above your face. Couple deep breaths here, just relax the body. I love using straps because it is very controlled and you can really focus on where you feel the sensation. One more breath. And then we'll place the strap into the left hand, nice and slow. Left leg's going to go off to the left. Again, if you want to bend at that left elbow, just to kind of use it as a kickstand, let the left leg just fall. Control the rolling by taking the right knee off to the right, level out the hips. Notice any clenching in the shoulders. See if you can use your breath, relax the whole upper body. Just let the weight of that left leg just fall to wherever it wants to open. Heel continues to press away. That's a really important part because it just activates all the muscles from that hip joint all the way through the heel. 5 breaths here. 5 breaths to see where you can relax more and more and more. Releasing the jaw and the face muscles. Finding some length in the neck, softness in the shoulders. Nice, easy belly. Nice, easy breath. Last time, preparing to come out. Press the heel away. One more big stretch. Then let's bring that right knee back up so it points up to the ceiling. And then draw the left leg back to neutral. Strap into both hands. See if you can draw that thigh in. Press the heel away. Notice if there's any more space to draw in a little bit closer. Taking a nice deep breath. And then strap into the right hand. Again, continue to maintain that flex. Send the left leg across the body. Again, if you were looking at a clock, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock, we're not rolling all the way over. At the same time, that right knee is going to make that adjustment coming left so that you can level out the hips. Again, this is an intense one into that IT band area. So as you press that heel away, you're going to feel it. See if you can breathe into any discomfort. See if you can soften. 4 more breaths. On your next inhale, extend the right leg long, flex through that right foot. We're going to take the left leg now completely over, but as you bring it over, remember your whole upper body stays nice and relaxed. We're not rolling shoulders. Shoulders stay down. Left leg falls to wherever left leg wants to fall as you roll onto the outside of the right hip. Take a moment to press that left heel away. Take a moment to take a couple breaths into this twist. One more big breath into those ribs. A slow exhale to melt the body. And then engage your core. Draw the left leg back right over its hip point. Strap comes into both hands. Begin to bend into the left knee so it's coming towards the outside of those ribs or towards that shoulder, coming into your half happy baby. So you can hold on to your straps or you can just leave the strap where it is and hold on to your foot, however you normally would do your half happy baby. Again, keep the right leg engaged. You might even notice that the hip flexor kind of kicks in and gets a nice stretch here as well. Nice full breath. We will now slowly bend back into that right knee, plant the right foot. Left ankle is going to come across to rest on that right thigh and gently use your fingertips to send that left knee away from the body. The tendency is it wants to fall in. So see as you gently encourage it away, what you feel into the hip. Make sure that left foot is flexed here. 3 easy breaths. Release the fingertips. Let that left knee fall in towards the body, over towards that right shoulder. Maybe hug it in just a bit, a nice counter stretch. And then the knee returns to that figure 4 position. Again, encourage the knee away from the body. And then keeping that figure 4 shape, engage that core. Don't use your hands. Just lift the leg structure up so that the shin comes in closer to the body. Both feet are flexed. Hold here for 1 more breath. Then in the air here, just release that left ankle, hug both knees into the chest. As you hug them in, let that tailbone right up with you. That's a beautiful little stretch into the low back. And at the same time, take that strap now around both of the ball mounds of the feet. Nice and slow, like it's one leg, lift the legs to the ceiling. Send the heels up and the toes down, pointing towards your face. Draw your belly in, feel your spine, and then straight legs or as straight as they can be. Draw the legs in close to the body. So we're going to see if we can set the tailbone down. This is like a forward fold on your back. So notice where you're gripping. If you draw your belly in just a little bit more, maybe there's a little more room to come forward. One more breath. And then we'll let those legs come back to that neutral position. Begin to curl the ball mounds together, the soles of the feet together. Let those knees go wide like a floating cobbler. Reach for the top of your strap now and pull the feet down towards the groin. Use the elbows to open up through the knees. And then slowly release the blade edge of the foot to the mat. Coming into that cobbler pose. Release the strap. Take a little bounce here. Not a violent one, just rocking one knee and the other. And then we'll use the hands to draw the knees together. Draw them back into the chest. And then just roll over to one side. Into tabletop. We'll flow a couple cat-cows. We'll come into a child's pose. And if this is where you need to turn off your device during that child's pose, that's going to be a good time to do it. So fingers are wide, joints are stacked. Scoop in the belly, support the spine. And when you're ready for a nice big breath, tilt the tailbone up, tilt the chest, the heart space forward. Drop the belly down. Exhale the air slow as you tilt the tailbone back in, as you tuck in the chin, as you press through the palms, as you round through the spine. Good, just take a couple more. Really feel into all the areas along the spines, all the little muscles in the front body and the back body. And then we'll bring the big toe mounds together, send those knees as wide as you can send them. Now, this is a hip class, so this is a very wide knee child's pose. So before you even come down, see if you can sink the hips down, either onto a block or your towel or your heels. Begin to feel the spread between the inner thighs. Walk the hands forward. Drop the head, drop the chest. Maybe bring your hands to prayer on the blade edge of the hand. And then draw the prayer to the back of the heart space, walking those elbows forward just a bit. And use your breath here and see if you can release those hips. Nothing to hold up here. Body is supported. Deep stretch, just breathe into it. And if you're leaving us this morning, we'll be tomorrow. Otherwise, bring your prayer hands back down to the mat. Slide them underneath your shoulders to press the chest up. Draw the knees together. Tuck the toes. Lift those hips up. Find a forward fold at the back of your mat. So any props, just get them out so that you're not going to trip over your straps. So as you arrive in your forward fold, knees bent, let the belly rest on the thighs, let the whole upper body dangle down. And notice your head. Are you trying to hold up your head? See if you can just release it so that the neck has a lot of room. The fingers dangle down to the earth. The arms dangle right out of the arm sockets. And just take a sway through the hips. Nice, easy sway. And then bringing yourself back up to a neutral position. Walk your hands forward, finding a down dog. So in your down dog, again, we're working hips mainly, but press into your palms so that you can send the hips high to the ceiling. Easy bend into the knees. Hips go high, chest comes down. One at a time, begin to lower a heel. And when you lower that heel, just pause to feel the stretch in the back of the leg. And then switch it over to the opposite side. Again, pausing and noticing any difference. If one is tighter than the other, allow yourself to stay there just a little bit longer. Otherwise, take it right and left. Head is hanging like you were looking down to find your belly button. Good. Working our way back to a little bit of stillness here. Continue to press the palms away, come up high onto the balls of the feet, engaging those calf muscles, the front of the ankle, the top of the feet, and then really nice and slow, both heels at the same time. Send them down towards the mat. And pause wherever that is for you. Deepen the breath. Then take a bend into the knees, coming up onto the balls of the feet, gazing up at your thumbs. Little baby steps, maybe one foot crossing the other as you walk towards the top of your mat. Kind of different stretch for the legs. Arriving here in your forward fold at the top of the mat. Again, drop the head. Big breath in. Halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins. Allow the spine to be long, the gaze straight down. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Notice what that does in the top of the shoulders. Let yourself fold a little bit deeper. Arms coming behind the knees, maybe clasping elbows or forearms. Just draw the chest down. Again, knees can be bent. Releasing that, come back. Halfway lift. Nice and long in the spine. Notice what happens as you shift the weight more into the balls of the feet. Notice what happens as you shift the weight into the heels of the feet. Maybe lifting the toes. And then back into the balls of the feet. A little bit more of a feeling of the connection right into the hips. Take a nice full deep breath, squeeze those shoulder blades, and then again, take a deeper fold. Let the head hang, hands behind the knees, reach for the forearms. Releasing that, let the hands dangle, let the arms dangle. Nice generous bend into the knees as you press into the feet. Roll your way nice and slow to standing position. And as you arrive, just a second, let me send this back a little bit. Good. As you arrive again, just check into your foundation. Lift all 10 toes and spread them wide. Gaze down and set them down. Pinky toe, fourth toe, third toe. Keep the big, I'm going to call them thumbs, big toe up for just a second. It's building some strength into the feet. And then set the big toe down. Maybe close down your eyes as you bring your prayer to the heart space. Shift weight subtly from the balls of the feet to the heels. Very subtle. So subtle I wouldn't even notice if I was right next to you. Feel the sway inside the body as you go side to side. The blade edge of the foot to the inner arch. side to side, front to back. Notice your breath. Release any tension in the shoulders, in the face. Let the whole upper body be soft. And we'll flow through 3 half sun salutations here together. On your inhale, arms reach out, arms reach overhead. Find that prayer. Draw the prayer through heart center as you forward fold. Inhale to that lift. Exhale to fold. Allow the hands to come to the outside of the ankles. Slide them up the calves and the thighs. Roll right back up. Allow the hands to find the prayer. Maybe lift that heart for a little bit of a back bend. And then flow right back down, forward fold. Halfway lift. Let it go, tuck the belly in. Hands to the front of the ankles, slide them up the shins, the knees, the quads. Open up the arms, let them reach up, find the prayer, find that back bend. And last time, take your fold. And your lift. And your fold. And then rise back up. Maybe this time hands to the back of the legs. Riding up. Arms extend out. Arms extend up. Find that arch. And then draw the hands to the heart. Take a breath. Close down the eyes. Feel back into the foundation of the feet. But soften that upper body. We'll take a last lunge sequence here again, just to find some movement through the legs and the hips. So as you're ready, blink the eyes open, extend the arms up and overhead. Find all that extension. This time, swan dive, arms out to the side, straight spine as you forward fold. Fingertips to blocks or your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, runner's lunge. Separate your feet, front knee over the ankle, tented fingers or blocks. Sink the hips down. Again, starting to get that hip flexor, the psoas muscle stretch here, but don't collapse over your thigh. Send the heart towards the top of your mat. Belly's in, nice long straight spine. Press that back heel away so you've got that stretch all the way up to the crown of the head. One more breath here, see if you can lower that hip just a little bit more. Then press into your blocks or your fingers, straighten that front leg. Keep the foot planted initially. See if you, again, can straighten through the spine. Gaze is straight down, neck right in line with the spine. Take a full breath as you draw in the belly. And on your exhale, we're going to pick up those front toes. See if you can extend the spine a little more forward. Maybe you play with dropping that back heel and lifting it up, dropping the front foot and lifting it up, and going back and forth. Back heel down, back heel up, front foot down, front foot up. One more time. Nice. So back heel is up now, front foot is planted. Take a re-bend into that front knee, coming back to your runner's lunge. Again, extend the chest forward. And then we're going to hop off of that back foot to find a standing split pose. So walk the hands a little forward, pop up that back leg, Doesn't have to be much. Find a deep breath. And then nice and slow, you're going to lower that right leg and you're going to bring it behind the left so that the pinkies kind of match up. Walk the fingertips back. Back leg is straight. Let the chest drop onto the thigh. Let the head totally relax. Just breathe. Shifting the weight back into your hands. Right leg's going to re-extend back up. Last time here. And then bend that knee and place the right foot right next to the left. Coming back to your fold. Take a moment, sway the hips. Find your half lift. Spine nice and long. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then fold a little deeper. And then rise up. Reach the arms out and up. And maybe a back bend. And then we're going to swan dive forward again. Forward fold. Half lift. Moving to the other side. Hands come down to blocks or your mat. Left foot steps way back. Separate your feet. Runner's lunge. So level out the hips. Drop them down. See if you can feel the left hip flexor open up. And press into those blocks. Get long in the spine. Lift the heart space. Notice your breath. Press that back heel away. One more breath. And then we'll move into that version of pyramid. So we're going to straighten through the front leg, walk the hands back. Keep that front foot down initially. The back heel is up. Chest forward, straight spine. Press into the heel, lift those toes up towards the ceiling. If you did it on the other side and you want to play here, drop the back heel down. Then pick it up and drop the toes down in the front. Just kind of roll between the two. Back heel down, front toes up. Front toes down, back heel up. Couple more. And then we'll meet with the front foot down. We'll walk ourselves back to that runner's lunge. The moments to see again. You can drop the hips down, lengthen the spine so you don't feel like you're collapsing your whole upper body. All right, we're going to make that shift. So we're going to bounce off the back leg, maybe walk the fingers forward for stability, and lift that back leg up and in out. Standing splits. Maybe a little higher. And then the left leg's going to come behind the right, planting the left foot so that the pinkies kind of come together, left and right. Drop the torso over the thighs. Straighten through the back leg. Let the head completely relax, maybe even circle it out. One more breath. Shift that weight back into the hands, into the blocks, or whatever you're holding. We're going to come back into that standing splits. So shift the weight forward, release that left leg back up towards the ceiling, and drop the chest down towards that right thigh. Release the head and neck. And then nice and slow. Bend that left knee. Bring the left foot down to the mat. Let the upper body dangle. Maybe here, notice if you can straighten the legs. Let the chest come in. And if it helps you, just again, forearms behind the legs. Start with bent knees and then just slowly straighten the legs. Let the chest just stay glued to the thighs. Releasing that. Fingertips to the mat. Heel to feet to the edge of your mat. Heels in, toes are out. You can join me in a squat flow, or if Malasana, yogi squat, is in your practice, I invite you to just lower yourself down to find that squat. Otherwise, as we start to work on building the squat, feet are wide, hips are high. Take in a full breath, draw the belly in, and then set your seat down. And then press your seat back up to the ceiling. Keep the knees bent, lower down, and back up, and down. Just move with your breath. Maybe each time, if you're not in the full squat, maybe you see if you can drop that seat down a little bit further. Yeah, squat is the best in our yoga toolbox. It opens up hips. It massages all the digestive organs. Last time, we're going to hold the squat wherever it is, and it might be just your forearms resting on your thighs. Bring your hands to prayer. Soften the breath. One more inhale. And then nice and slow, find your way down onto your mat. And it doesn't have to be that graceful, just any way to get there. Extend the legs out in front of you, flex through the feet. Maybe bounce them, maybe massage through that hip crease. Come back to the tall spine. Come back and really feel your sit bones grounded, nice and even. Nice straight spine. Maybe bring fingertips beside you to press in to lift up. So hug the belly, lift the heart. Lift the arms up towards the ceiling and take a different fold, a seated fold. So let the hands come forward any amount, and where they come to with a straight spine is where you land. So if it's on your knees or your calves or your ankles or your feet, use that leverage. Hold on, draw the chest forward. Keep the belly in. Soften the breath. Send those heels away from you, both legs engaged. And you might feel this in the back of the legs, but what we're really working again is stretching through that piriformis, through the glutes, all the way into the low back. One more round of breath. Pull the heart forward just a tad more. And to release this, look past your toes. Send those arms back out towards the feet. Lift the arms back up to the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. And then slowly lower them down to the mat. Leave the left leg where it is. Gentle pickup of the right knee, hugging the sole of the foot into the left thigh. So coming into this kind of half butterfly. So if you want any support under that right knee, you adjust the camera. Maybe take a block or your bolster. Because here we don't want to have to hold this up while we're working on this side. So always feel free to take that little prop. Left toes flared, left heel down and away, very active left leg, scoop in the belly. Let's take a little bit of a counter twist first over that bent knee. So on your inhale, reach the right arm behind you, the left arm outside of the right thigh, press into the fingers, gaze to the side. Use your eye muscles, not your head, to see how far back you can see. And then soften that back shoulder. Nice deep breath. Release that. Head comes around first. Draw the body round. Gaze at those flared toes. On the inhale, reach the arms up. And on the exhale, reach for those toes. Again, foot is flexed. Stretch it long. Then here, just drop the chin into the chest. Round in so that you're rounding under or over that thigh. One more breath. And slide the hands up the leg. We're going to take that full body stretch. Right arm's going to come behind you. Plant that palm behind your back. Press into the palm. Lift the hips. Come to rest on that right shin. Press through that left heel. Extend the arm overhead, bicep by the ear. Press through the palm. Press through the heel. Maybe even open up the chest towards the ceiling. Deep breath. Grand finale here. Slowly lower the hips. Circle the arm down. Both hands to the outside of the left leg and take a bow. And return back to neutral. And we'll switch. Right leg extends. Left foot hugs in. Again, option to support that left thigh. Sitting up nice and straight, again, hugging the pelvis, the belly in. Very active left leg, heel pressing away, toes flared. Let's just take that gentle twist over the bent knee. Right hand outside the thigh, left hand swings around. Lift, then turn to the side. So instead of cranking that neck all the way around like an owl, just keep it to the side, lengthen the spine and use those eye muscles, those optic muscles. Engage those optic nerves. See how far back you can see. One more deep breath as you soften that back shoulder. Release the head back to neutral. Release the body back to neutral. Lift the arms out to the side and up. And then as you're ready, fold over that right leg. Again, let the hands land. Stretch the spine forward. Find the length. And tuck that chin in and just kind of round through the spine. Let the head drop down. Enjoy 3 long breaths here. Next inhale, lifting the head, lengthening the spine, lifting the chest. Slide the hands back. This time, left hand's going to plant behind you. The right arm is going to swing in front of you as you lift the hips. So planting the heel first, pressing through that bottom palm, reaching through those top fingers, lift the hips. And then if it's there for you, open up the chest more towards the ceiling. Noticing your breath, noticing the full body stretch here. One more inhale. And on the exhale, nice and controlled. Hips come down. Arm circles down and around. Both hands outside the left leg. Just take a counter bow. And then just return to center. Last one for the low back. And again, the muscles that support the low back that run through the glutes. A wide cobbler pose. We call this tortoise. Soles of the feet together, heels together, but lots of room. This nice, beautiful, big diamond. Take the right hand underneath the calf to hold the shin, and the same with the other. Again, you use that leverage. Pull the heart forward. Pull forward where you straighten and lengthen the spine. And the same thing. Tuck the chin into the throat. Before you go anywhere, just notice the back of the neck. Draw the belly in. Begin to round down so that the crown of the head comes down in towards your diamond. Maybe you walk the hands down just a little bit more towards the ankles. As you drop the weight into your diamond, again, control it. Begin to notice where you feel the stretch occurring. The more you breathe, the more you allow the body to soften, the more the body relaxes. And that low back stretch just begins to happen on its own, little by little. No forcing, no pressure. A beautiful stretch if you do suffer from low back issues. Again, you let the breath, the weight, and gravity do all the work here. When we practice our yin practice, this pose is held for 5 to 7 minutes. Gives the body enough time to find as much of an invitation to come deeper. We're here for 5 more breaths. Head hangs. Maybe you notice that maybe the forearms come a little bit closer to the mat. As you draw the belly in, maybe you notice the release in the muscles in the low back. As you breathe deeply, maybe you notice the opening behind the heart space between the shoulder blades. Nice full breath. And then we'll release those hands back to the center of your diamond. And very slowly, because that's a deep stretch, very slowly, begin to restack the spine, like little baby steps with the hands to bring you up. Use the hands to draw the knees together. Extend the feet out in front of you. Bring the hands behind you, fingertips behind you, pointing towards your hips, just for a little bit of a counter stretch. So press into the fingertips, very gently here. Open up the chest. Allow for that slight arch in the spine. The head can rest back on that upper trapezius shelf. Taking a full breath. And then walk the hands back. Take a moment, plant the hands right on the outside of your hips, so palms down. Gently come back onto the forearms. One last time, we're going to arch through the spine. We're going to lift the chest, drop the shoulders, and drop the head. And then working from the low back, begin to lower down the back ribs, the back of the shoulder blades, the back of the shoulders, the back of the head. Take the feet to the corners of the mat. Or maybe take your blocks or your towel, put them underneath your knees to just let the legs have a little bit of support. Really is a nice opening for the low back. Arms extend out to the side, the palms up to receive whatever it is we need to receive today. Close down the eyes, squeeze in the shoulders, nod in the head. Draw in a nice full deep breath. And release yourself into Shavasana. Everything heavy. Everything loose. As you enjoy your final rest, please stay. I just have a little reading. Crippled, become whole. Crooked, becomes straight. Hollow, becomes full. Worn, becomes new. Little, becomes more. Much, becomes delusion. Do not display yourself and therefore shine. Do not assert yourself and therefore stand out. Do not praise yourself and therefore succeed. Are not compliant and therefore endure. Do not control, and therefore no one under heaven can contend with them. The old saying is, crippled becomes whole, is not empty words. It becomes whole and returns. Take in a full breath. Slide the feet together, the arms overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. Draw the knees to the chest. One last gentle massage along that low back, hip point to hip point. And then we'll roll to one side and just slide our way gently, smoothly, easily to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall again, extending that heart forward. Hands come to prayer with a slight bow of the head. In gratitude for the inner wisdom that brought us to our practice this morning, I thank you for your practice with me. I thank you for your practice with each other. Namaste.